Good morning, everyone. So, on this intro, I want to remember, because I always forget, please like and share. It helps the channel grow, and you can just comment down below too if you want to see anything or whatever. That also helps the channel grow. In this video, we got a two-part segment. The one part at the end is something that I'm trying new. It gives you a little bit of insight of more so helping people diagnose things or opening up their mind and their brain. So, you know, if you like it, comment, let me know. If you'd like to see me cover anything, let me know. And I will say, I don't know when we're releasing these cups, but I have a new cup that is coming out. I don't know by the time this video comes out if we'll have them on our website. A little sneak peek. So it's just something that I've been working on. It's a tumbler that looks like a Honda oil filter. And if we do have them out, when this video is out, there'll be a link down below. You can purchase and order it. I don't know, because I have a team that, you know, we decide when we're going to come out with this, and something that I have been using though for some time. I've been putting it through the ringer, making sure that it holds up to abuse, and also making sure that it holds your drink or your soup hot or cold. So like I said, if these are out by this time when this video is out, I don't know when, there'll be a link down below. So enjoy, and please like, share, and comment. Thank you. So this car has been on the dyno prior. It actually was in here for a suspension adjustment right now. And then he informed us that they put a different engine in it. So now it is going to be dyno tuned. So come along with me here. I am going to strap it up. I'm going to get it up in the air. See what's see if I can find any things before I put it on the actual dyno. I'm not even going on my spiel if this is your first time watching. If this is your first time watching, then go back and watch some old dyno videos. But basically what I'm going to be doing right now is just checking basic stuff, making sure battery connections are good, making sure that I don't see any leaks. Got a little fan crack there on the shroud, nothing major. Anything I can catch right off the bat. So I'm going to get it up in the air, do the same exact thing. I will be right back. So this is the first time I'm seeing underneath since they did an engine swap, so you're gonna be with me on this journey, and you can see right off the bat a good amount of oil that is being built up right there. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I got a message on my phone that I had to attend to. So you can definitely see the oil leak is it's fairly decent. I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna stick my phone up there because I don't want it to get all oily. I'm gonna try to at least see if I can pinpoint where it's coming from. Doesn't. It looks like the oil filter possibly is leaking a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get up on top of that even more. I don't know. I'm trying to still be able to see my phone while I shine it up there with you. So I'm going to see if I can note where that's coming from. Looking over really quick at the ball joint stuff, making sure nothing appears loose. We're going to be trying to look for any type of exhaust leaks off of the head that can distort the air fuel reading. So we got one spot that I see that my O2 sensor is going to go into, which is right here. You do see at one point this has been, looks like they use like exhaust cement, but you can see the exhaust leak from the carbon soot. So this will be a little bit off. I am going to try to compensate for that. Of course, that is never good. Exhaust leaks before the O2 spot, the primary oxygen spot, never a good thing. So go to this side of the wheel really quickly. You can see that the axle is flinging up some grease. Well, I'm not really too concerned on the dyno unless it's making some severe clunking noises, which the customer did drive the car here, so I'd hope that he would have said that. So we go from just looks like a test pipe leaking too, but this not really a problem. Now I would like to keep the primary oxygen sensor in there too, in a sense, so we can have closed loop working like it should be. You know, you could kind of see it leaking right here too. So if I put my O2 sensor here, which I don't know, this is a little short guy, I don't know if my O2 sensor will fit right here. I'd like to have it right here, of course, but we're dealing with, you know, at least a couple exhaust leaks beforehand. You go down to the exhaust itself. I'm assuming, I don't know if this looks... My phone decided to cut me off because it ran out of space. So just going through the whole exhaust right now, seeing if there's any restriction points more so. I could do a quick once over on the brakes from the back too. Doesn't really necessarily pertain to anything I'm doing on the dyno in a sense, but you know, if I see something that could cause them an issue down the road, I definitely like to give customers a little heads up and an update, make their life easier later on. So besides that oil leak, which I'm going to try to get my hand in there a little bit more and see where it's coming from, definitely should be addressed sooner than later. Customer will let the customer know and go from there. And I must have missed it on the passenger side when I was doing the video, so I'm just coming back, but you can see that it is leaking some coolant too. So we got a little trail here. It is blue. It is going upwards. Looks like it's dripping off the steering boot. So when I get the car down, I'll take a look. Pulling the spark plugs just to make sure the correct spark plugs are in there. And I wanted to get the camera out. I did notice that the coil plug clip is broken. And more so why I wanted to bring this to attention on a video is we had a customer not too long ago with the same type of similar issue. We told him about it. We told him that we could repair it, but he didn't want it repaired. Now, a couple months later, his engine came back and it was having some problems, to say the least. And it turns out the cylinder that had the broken coil clip was completely dead and gone. So I don't know if the other one was related at all, but you have to imagine too that if this thing's not holding like it should, and with the vibration and during a pull, well, let's say you're at 7,000 RPMs, 8 to 10 pounds of boost, and you lose spark in that cylinder, what do you think could possibly happen? So never good. Something so tiny, you know, should be addressed, and we'll let the customer know. And I am back. Didn't think I'd be back this quickly, but you can see when I took this coil out, it is covered in oil. That is not good. I'm gonna pull the spark plug out, see if I can clean everything up. I don't know if we're gonna have to do a valve cover gasket while it's on the dyno. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I gotta still take these ones out too, so let's see here. Let me put this down really quickly. Okay, let's make sure, instead of coming back again. This one's got a little oil on it too. Got one more to go. I didn't fully pull this one out when I was doing the video of the clip. Yeah, I'm gonna say he pretty much needs a valve cover gasket. We're gonna go contact the customer really quick, see if we can get the okay to do it while it's on the dyno. Customer gave us the go ahead on the valve cover gasket and the grommets. We pulled out another spark plug just covered in oil. So we're gonna do that. And you know, the old saying is if it's on the bottom of the spark plug, well, your piston rings could be bad, or something that's leaking oil inside the combustion chamber, you know, valve seals, valve guides. In this case, there's way too much oil that's leaking from the top to even tell. The oil's going to go down into the threads and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's a fair amount. dripping everywhere. So just did a pull and everything is looking good. Battery voltage is good. Cam is doing what it needs to be doing. Air fuels are good. Shooting for 11.5 target. You see a little bit back and forth. That's not a big deal. We got a little bit room for, I think, to add a little bit more timing. I'm not getting any knock, which is great. You can see the duty cycle on those injectors, though, getting fairly higher than I would like to see them. But that is what it is. I'll put a note for the customer. I don't know how loud it is on video, but with the dyno fans on and whatnot, I feel like I'm yelling, so I will be back shortly. I don't recall if I mentioned this about this oil leak, but after I did the video, the first video about the oil leak, I turned the oil filter at least another full turn-ish. So hopefully it was just loose. You know, that's the other thing too, and you'll hear it in a bunch of my videos if you continue to watch my videos. And I'm going to continue to say this too, because I never know, you know, a first-time viewer in a sense. And, you know, maybe he went elsewhere and maybe, you know, he got treated poorly and put the car in the dyno and they saw an oil leak and then immediately just told him, you know, pulling it off, good luck. You know, I'm not that type of person, and you're going to hear me repeat that over and over again, so everybody knows that. And, you know, it's something that I am proud of. I do get messages every now and then when I post videos like this or the YouTube videos where, you know, some of these cars have issues. I got one not too long ago. You know, a guy just messaged and said, when are you going to just stop working on those types of cars? You know, I love helping people. I do. I remember where I started. So yeah, I do have my limits, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to just, like I said, touch base on this because I don't think I mentioned that the oil filter was loose, or that I found out that it was loose. So this one's a wrap. Not much to say on this one. You know, there was that oil leak, the valve cover stuff, but, you know, all in all, everything went great. Power is really good. There's a couple notes that I have for him, as I mentioned too, you know, like the coolant leak, that note, the injector duty cycle being higher than I would want it to be. And besides that, the power graph looks amazing. Here, let me show you. And as I said before in my previous videos, but if it's your first time watching, I don't broadcast numbers. Those are his numbers. He could do what he wants. But look at the power. You can't even tell really where VTEC kicks in. And that's the goal. You know, I've had some people every now and then, hey, shouldn't VTEC sound louder? Every car is a little bit different. But the key is you want the low cam, which is non-VTEC, high cam, which is the VTEC. You want it to be smooth, because the smoother it is, that means you're getting the most amount of power out of VTEC, and then when you're crossing into VTEC, you know, so a small little dips you're seeing is just the dyno. It picks up the you know, the tire, the car goes up and down a little bit, whatnot. But very happy, and pulled a good amount of power out. I mean, it's making good power. So, but that one's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here's a data log, and keeping in mind, I get a bunch of emails from clients that aren't mine, that are having an issue with their car, that have been tuned elsewhere, and they're not getting the help and the support afterwards. And as I tell those potential, I guess you can call them clients or customers, I can't just look at a data log for free anymore. It's not fair to my paying customers. And the amount of emails I'm getting just off of that, from whether guys are getting E-tuned elsewhere or getting dyno tuned elsewhere and then they're having an issue. As much as I'd love to help, and you know, you watch my videos and you know this, I just can't, because I have to make sure that my clients are taken care of, number one, and number two, you know, of course, that's what pays the bills and keeps the lights on. But going over this setup really quickly here, and what I want you to keep in mind is this is a K24 setup, pretty typical standard setup, nothing crazy, and it's turboed, and it's actually making really good power. This thing is making, it can make well over 300, not have an issue, and yes, if I was really good and tech savvy, I can have the one program open so I don't have to be recording it on my phone. But hey, this is what we're gonna get, and this is what I'm gonna get out. So what I want you to look at, and I don't want you to look at the VSS, but you can see the VSS here in blue is having a little bit of an issue. It's spiking and whatnot, but that's not our problem right now, and that's not what I want you guys to focus on. So ultimately, I'm gonna get the VSS out of here. So, well, to make your guys' life that much easier to look at. So let me go here. Okay, VSS is gone. Now, you see the mile per hour. I'm sorry, you see the map sensor, you see the RPM, and I'm trying to find my pointer. There it is. So you see the TPS, and as this TPS spikes here, that's the start of the run. Keeping in mind now, this car makes really good power and could potentially make more if we turn the boost up. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to scroll here, and you can see that we're open, 100% throttle, and don't pay attention right now to the duty cycle and whatnot. I want you guys to see if you guys can pinpoint what's going on here, what I'm seeing in a sense. And why I'm showing you this too is, you know, this stuff comes down to experience. So just because you know, let's say you find a tuner online and he's doing it for so much cheaper than everybody else, and hey, maybe your car feels faster afterwards. And as I said, keeping in mind, this car does make good power. Okay, so 100% throttle still. VTEC is kicking in right around this area. And I'll tell you right now, we're not concerned about VTEC in a sense, but we're at 5,000 RPMs. So we started the pull about 4,500 RPMs. Keeping in mind too, standard size turbo, not super big. Notice anything just yet? 5,100 RPMs, and I haven't been saying it yet because I'm really trying for you guys to, I guess, solve this more so, or I'm trying not to cheat and give you guys tips or pointers, but I will mention now, 5,500 RPMs, we started the pull back here. Look how much boost we're making right now. We're only making 1.8. So with this turbo setup, and like I said, it's an average standard size turbo and all that fun stuff, we should be making a lot more boost down low, and we're not. Now, on this vehicle, we have a smaller wastegate spring in there because we're trying to figure something out, and that's another issue that we're not talking about right now. And it has nothing to do with right now what we're seeing. So we're at 5,900 RPMs. Now the wastegate spring that's inside there is 3 PSI. It's 3 PSI because we're trying to solve another issue that has nothing to do with this. Do you see what I'm seeing though? How long did it take to build that boost up? At 5,100 RPMs, starting the pull down here, we should be at a lot more boost. So something obviously is going on with the setup. Feel free to chime in down below if you'd like to chime in and try to figure it out 100%. But this is what I'm talking about though, and I'm gonna go on a little rant, and you know, I'm getting the comments and guys are saying, hey, just increase the videos. We love watching them. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're down on boost. But keeping in mind the dyno plot, the power, the very end of a pull, and this one I stopped a little bit short because I didn't need to go to the very end. We're still making somewhat decent power. So yes, the car does feel fast at times, and to a normal person might not ever notice, But there's something that is causing this PSI drop, or the PSI to not build up like it should, and we're losing a lot of power down low. So yes, this car is making over 300 horsepower. Yes, it's going to feel fast at times, but it also is going to feel sluggish at times. If it's your first turbo car, you might not know the difference. This is when it comes down to experience. This is where it comes down to, you're not trying to find the cheapest tuner out there. You know, at the end of the day, I get where people do builds, they spend all this money, they do it right, they get that foundation poured, you know, they do the block build perfectly, but then for some odd reason, and this is not a new thing, it's been going on for a while, at the very end of the day, they don't want to pay the money for a tune, they don't want to pay that experienced tuner, you know, let's say an extra $200 compared to some random guy off the street or a random guy on the internet or whatever it is. This is where experience comes into play, and you got to watch out who you're having touch your car. And at the same time, my whole thing is, and I kept saying this car makes good decent power, this problem could go unnoticed, but there's so much more left in the tank. So something that I wanted to show you and what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to say every week, but I'm going to be showing you guys some form of, you know, maybe a data log, maybe talking about diagnostic stuff to help you guys out and to open that brain up more. So we're 7 minutes into the segment, I see, 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and somebody was knocking on the door to talk to me, so I'm going to wrap it up here.